let's take a look at these chains. What we're going to be looking at is making a bunch of double crochets into one chain, and then being able to tell where our next chain is. But if we look at these chains, we can see if you pull on the chain, I don't know if you can see that. See, this kind of looks almost like a knot. It's, when you make your next chain, maybe you can see it clearer. See how you, right here, that's the point at which you make your next loop, and here's where this chain comes. You have the top, bottom, and middle or back loop of the chain, and when you yarn over and pull through, you create another chain loop with the beginning, top, middle, and bottom. Now if you look at what's on your hook, you only have 2 loops here. When you draw through, now you have 3. So here's your 2 loops and your 3rd loop. Now when you pull on, when you pull on this, this is where you can tell where your next stitch is. This is the ending of one and the beginning of another. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay, we have 3 double crochets made in our chain. We chained 1. We're going to skip 2 chains and we're going to go into the next chain. And we're going to make 5 double crochets in that chain. Kind of hard for me to do it on my arms stretched out. You can see as you work, you can see this little bump there. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can see here, 1, 2. This chain on the right kind of got swallowed up, and the more stitches you put in here, the more it's going to get swallowed up. So what you have to do is pull these aside so you can see that this is the chain that contains your stitches, and this is the next chain here. You look for your 3 loops, and this kind of, it's not a knot, but kind of looks like a knot here. That tells you that's the end of this stitch that we worked into, and this is the beginning of the next stitch. And if we had to skip stitches, we would count 1, 2, and then we would go into our next chain to make our next stitch. I'm using a very big hook so that you can see what I'm talking about. Say you had to make another 5 there. You don't have a whole lot of chain left, but say we did. So this ending chain kind of got swallowed up. You have to push these aside. Look for your 3 loops. And here's your kind of wrapped around knot there. That's the end of your previous chain. Now this is where I am working under the top 2 loops. I'm making my stitch into the top 2 loops and leaving 1 loop behind, and you can use any of the other methods as well. Hope that helps. Here's another example I made using a smaller hook. I skipped 2. Now you can see this stitch is almost entirely obscured by the 5 double crochets. You have to pull it here until you see that this is the beginning and ending, and here's your next stitch. So this is the stitch that it's in, and this is your next stitch. And here is another 5 double crochets, and now we have to skip 2, so we have to make sure that we count this as our first and this is our second, and then we would go into this one here.